Hello, hello. Welcome to the Squirrel Circus podcast. I'm the Rainbow Squirrel, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts Ian and Andy the Moss Guardian. Say hi, guys.
Hello, hello. Once again. I just keep
Hello.
saying that shit. I just keep saying that shit. Is that gonna be my new intro for this shit? Yet
It's a
on
good catchphrase. I like it.
yet one more time. I mean it's true, it's true.
It
We
is.
just keep doing this. We keep doing this. And so, what are we gonna talk about today?
Today we're talking about Melanie Martinez's
Hmm.
2019 album slash movie K through 12, which holds a very special place in my heart.
Hmm. Yeah, this one's all yours. This one's all yours. I mean, I got time to watch the film. I watched it once. I would have loved to be able to watch it again before this, because oh hell, there is so much. There is so much that is touched upon, and the whole conceptuality of the album. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Um, but you know more about it. I think you have you know more about Melanie Martinez in general. So why don't you start us with giving us a little bit of context on what this album is and the film.
I mean, a little bit of context. There's this character that Melanie Martinez came up with called a crybaby
Hmm.
because when she was in school, people bullied her and they used to call her that name, crybaby. So she turned it into this like special character for her, and she gave it an interesting backstory. Her dad was like a cheater, I think. Her mom was an alcoholic. Her brother was a drug addict.
Yeah.
All of this is talking about Crybaby, not Melanie. I don't know much about Melanie herself.
Okay.
And there's this thing in Crybaby's universe where there are people with powers who are
Hmm.
called empaths. And empaths, they have
Okay.
these weird abilities. They can cast fire with their hands, they can move things with their
Hmm.
minds, they can control people.
Okay.
And Crybaby is one of these empaths, and she comes into contact with a bunch of different empaths that end up saving her life and helping her in a bunch of situations. There's one instance where uh, she goes to a store and the empath cashier gives her a bottle of
Uh-huh.
poison, and the crybaby's just like, what the hell am I gonna do with a bottle of poison? And then she gets kidnapped, and she gets made to cook for the guy that kidnapped her. And so she puts the poison in the food, and she is set free.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
how does
Okay.
that tie into K through 12? Well, eventually, as Crybaby grows up, she's like 5 at the beginning of K through 12. She has to go to
Hmm.
kindergarten, and well, that's what K through 12 means, kindergarten through 12th grade.
Yeah.
And the album sort of explores her adventures as she
Okay. Okay.
grows up.
Interesting.
It's a coming of age
Interesting.
story.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but it's told in such a peculiar way, which is amazing, because I mean I kind of didn't get the. I mean, I understood, like, okay, the K through 12 thing. It's that's what we call the, well, the American education, like, system.
Mhm.
The major one. And it was like, okay, it's a school K through 12. Okay, okay, blah blah blah. But I didn't. But at the beginning, you get all introduced to all these students of the school, and they're all like grown up adults, like they're all full grown people, but they dress and they act like little children, which is so funny. So I kind of didn't understand this development and growth until later in the film, which was pretty interesting. It felt like a very bad trip at the beginning, like a very feverish dream. Um, and everything kind of starts making sense the more it progresses and the more themes it touches upon, because there is also kind of like a big importance to the order in which Melanie presents each song and the theme of each song. You know, like the themes at the beginning of the film are talking more about um what do they talk about? I feel like I got the end of the film fresher. It's they talk more about like relationships and about
Yes.
um kind of jealousy and body consciousness, and but that's kind of later in the film. The beginning of the film is more like, what am I doing here, right? I miss my mom, right? I'm jealous of this girl and that girl is jealous of me, you know, and like very dumb stuff that you kind of grow away from, right? But you they keep finding different problems and different issues to solve. I don't know. It kind of goes. It does go like through the whole process of mind of any kid. I think that goes through this through this system. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the first song in the whole album and in the movie is really interesting. The Wheels on the Bus.
The wheels on the box.
And it's about children left unattended.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know
Yeah.
about you guys, but I did a lot of stuff I shouldn't have when I was an unattended
Oh
child.
yeah. No, it's a it's a natural thing. I think. Oh, we have even seen these very funny like live experiments with children where they put them in a room where there is no adults and they put a marshmallow in front of them and they tell them, we're gonna leave you alone, you're not gonna eat the marshmallow. Right? And you get all the cameras and the child doesn't know they're being recorded, but it's very funny like seeing the reaction of the children and the temptation to do something they shouldn't, but they still do, you know. It's such a human thing that we I think we all experienced. I think we are all very familiar with that scenario. I don't know. It's
Absolutely.
yeah.
So that's one. And then I'm gonna skip classified because I think you already boiled it down really well. It's this person is jealous of this person,
Hmm.
and that leads to childish conflicts, and it's probably not the best thing for children to be
Yeah,
beating each other up. Then the next song is The Principle, and I think that
that's
song
true. Uh-huh.
really introduces the heart of if not the album, at the very least the movie,
Hmm.
which see, this is where it goes completely off the rails. There was this philosopher in the 20th century called Eric Voegelin. He was a philosopher and a historian of philosophy.
Okay.
And he noticed these parallels between thinkers of his time, many existentialists,
Hmm.
Marxists, even some postmodernists, and the old Gnostic heresy of Christianity.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So, sort of a quick rundown of Gnosticism in Christianity. There's this perfect being called the monad, and the monad creates a bunch of other beings called the aeons, and they all sort of coexist perfectly, harmoniously in a realm called the pleroma until one of those aeons breaks the harmony. She's called Sophia and
Okay.
creates something on her own. And that thing she creates, that strange, mangled abortion, is called the demiurge. And so the demiurge is stupid and confused and jealous and full of rage. And so he tries to mirror the pleroma. He tries to create his own world based on the pleroma. And it's called the kenoma. And the kenoma is, the world we live in, the world of matter, the world of ugly things and imperfections. And to rule this world and protect his rule, he has these angel-like beings called the archons. So the
Okay.
pleroma has aeons, the kenoma has archons. How the fuck does that tie into modern political theory? Uh, Instead of having this mystical view, you have, well, whatever the ruling authority is, they're the oppressor.
Mhm.
That's the demiurge. And they craft the world around us, craft our perceptions, control our way of thinking so that we stay in line with this constructed kenoma. And the only way to break free of that is through a form of gnosis, a form of secret knowledge that tells you this world is fake and wrong, and
Okay.
there's a real world out there that we can build and we can construct if we align with, call it a special kind of consciousness. For Marx, it was class consciousness. For many modern critical theories, it's queer consciousness or racial consciousness. And so Vogelin ties the two together. He's like the same structure that you see in Gnosticism, you see applied to these social problems.
Mhm.
And I think I I don't want to use this word glibly, but Melanie is guilty of a sort of soft socio-Gnosticism, if you get what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I think I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It's like this school they are in is this, what did you call it? Cleroma?
Hinoma.
Canoma, right? And like in the context of the story of the film, the Canoma is created by the principal, right? The principal is the demiurge in this Canoma. But the whole concept of all of this was created by Melanie Martinez, and that's what's very interesting. And I don't know, it's I think it's a very good piece of art
It is.
because of that. Right, it really expands into the whole idea of the demiurge and the canoma. I feel like usually artists kind of focus on one thing, right? It's like usually you kind of turn into one thing, into one type of sufferment. It could be, I mean, picking examples um, from K through 12. I don't know. You can just focus on um, I don't know, jealousy, right? And you can make like a full on piece of art on jealousy, right? And you can make a whole film and a whole thing that revolves around jealousy. Or you can have I don't know what other theme do they touch upon? I don't know, body consciousness, like body anxiety and dysmorphia and stuff, and you can just focus on that for one whole piece of art. But Melanie Martinez just has this crazy ability, I find, to talk very directly about all these issues and put them all together into one massive thing, which is very amazing. It's very, very amazing, I find. I at, it's interesting. At the beginning, when I first listened to her music, I didn't like it too much because I felt like her language, the language she uses in her lyrics, and is very direct, and it's very like explicativo. How do you say explicativo in English? Like, um,
Straightforward.
very straightforward. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like at least what I do on the lyricists that I like to listen to usually try to decorate one theme with a lot of enigma and a lot of like pieces of phrase and images that don't necessarily talk straight to the problem, but are like, you can use your your imaginative criteria to to give symbols to all these things that seem unrelated, and understand one single theme. But Melanie kind of doesn't do that, right? She just
I
goes
kind of
straight to the
compare
point.
it to like an artwork that is made with like acrylic or like oil colors that are like more texture, right? So the words that they use in the music that Ian and I like are like very decorative in the way that it adds texture to the song, no? And I feel like the the music that the Melanie does is like more digital art, right? So it's made to have a gradient and stuff, but it doesn't have the texture, which is completely different style. It doesn't mean that it's better or worse. It's just a different style, no?
Is it
Yeah.
that, or is it more like impressionism versus realism, or versus hyperrealism? Like impressionism is a type of realism. Impressionists are painting what they see, but they paint it in such a way where it's not clear if you see it like from near. You kind of have to see it from from a farther point of view to see all these splats of pain become like an image.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hyperrealism kind of goes into detail with every single. It goes into how things are. How every single detail, the smallest you can see is. But is
What do
it
you
is
think
it
of
is
this
it
idea?
even that? Is it even that? I don't even feel like that's right as a
I do feel
comparison.
like
What
that's right. I really do feel like that's, I mean, it's, yeah.
here's an idea. What if Melanie Martinez is painting like these horrific, bloody, grotesque scenes,
Hmm.
but using pastels
That's yeah. That's more like it. That's more like it. Because she's not completely like
and glitter?
she is creating like a whole conceptual world where some things are actual like symbolism, and she's not completely going uh I don't know, like Dostoevsky style, where everything is just descriptive and everything is. I mean, it's not like that. I feel like it's there's more to a there's more to a spectrum to this thing, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I feel like I don't have the vocabulary yet to be able to to
I
describe
mean,
art and compare. But
I think The
I think it comes
Principal
through.
and Drama Club are two songs that are very much using symbolism. It's like they're not telling you right away
Yeah.
what it's saying,
Hmm.
what I interpret it as saying is very much painting this socio-gnostic picture of reject the demiurge, reject the kenoma, and let's call it true gnosis is found in rebellion against the kenoma and the pleroma of this society that we live in, which is
Okay.
uh, allegorically explored through the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, and the school. I mean, the school is a place where everything happens. Like everything within the album. If you see like the two things as separate, like everything in the album happens inside the school. So the whole thing is a metaphor. The whole thing is like an inventive microcosm of something bigger and something more real. Like it's not necessarily depicting, yeah, a very literal, a very literal scenario of how things are. But at the same time, the language that is used is very direct, and it's interesting. Could also be seen as more theatrical, probably. A bit more theatrical, more on the side of theatrical than just like pure poetic. I don't know. It's, I mean, it's just a choice in language, And what else? Oh, there was one quote I liked about well in the movie, and it's I think it's when they're gonna go to sleep or something, and Crybaby and her, is it her friend? I didn't get like understand that this other girl that is like very close to her.
Oh yeah, she's her friend.
She's her friend, right? And they kind of like slip out of their beds into this like kind of background place and in the same room where they're sleeping, kind of trippy stuff. But they, I think that's where the mother's song comes in or something, where she like calls her mom or something, and she
Yeah,
doesn't answer because she's passed out. But
she
they're
passed
talking
out
about
drunk
passed
specifically.
out drunk. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the friend says, "Do you think?" Oh, they're like playing a little bit with their powers, like being able to make fire and then just make water come out of their hands, which is crazy. And she goes, "Do you think we would have these abilities if we weren't supposed to use them?" Like she's like, I think Crybaby, the friend kind of starts a fire and with her hand. I don't know. Was she like giving the idea to burn the school down or something? I don't remember. I don't
Foreshadowing.
remember.
I think it was foreshadowing.
It might have been foreshadowing. Yeah, because I mean, at the end, that's what happens, kind of.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, they
try to
don't
make
burn
it
it
happen.
down, but yeah. But that idea, do you think we would have these abilities if we weren't supposed to use them? Like it seems like they're talking about someone else, right, or a higher power giving them the abilities. Like if God gave them the abilities, it's I think that's what anyone would think of it.
Or
I
the
don't know.
representative of the pleroma in the movie, which is Lilith.
Uh-huh. Which is Lilith. Oh,
I think
I have a more question about Lilith, but I think we can, yeah, let's talk about that later. Um, I don't know. It makes me think about the abilities that us as human beings have, right? The abilities of, I think we've talked a lot about it, but that us human beings have a gift that no other um, living being that we know of has, and it's this power of imagination and creation. Like imagining something that is not there and finding a way to make it be there. Right? It's something that us humans can do, and I don't know. It just stuck to me. I think. Whereas, I don't know. Do you
I
think
think you're
we?
right. And it also ties into I know I brought up the Gnostic thing and it seems like it doesn't tie into anything, but it does. In Gnosticism, the idea is that classical Gnosticism, the idea is that there's three kinds of people, but there only two are important for this analysis. The pneumatics, which basically means the spirited people
Okay.
who really have a spirit of their own and can connect deeply with the pleroma and achieve gnosis, which in this case, the gnosis is the necessity of rebellion.
Hmm.
And isn't that interesting? Like you have the powers of an empath. Your emotional attunement awakes you to the reality that the best thing you can do is rebel against a broken system. And you can only perceive that the system is broken because you have that emotional attunement. That
Yes.
seems fairly profound. And then the rest of the people are in Gnosticism hylics, which means the material people. They have no soul, they have no spirit, and they are cut off permanently from true gnosis. And like the ultimate hylic in K through 12 would be was her name Kelly? Kelly, the one she fights with
Kelly.
at the beginning? Kelly, I
Yeah, the
think
one that's
was
jealous, the one the like the
yeah,
jealousy girl. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Kelly. And obviously, Hylics are the best thing for the demiurge, because they can't achieve through true gnosis. They cannot
Yeah.
rebel. They cannot escape to the pleroma. They're completely enslaved to the canoma and its systems.
Hmm.
So I think that ties in as well too. Like, would we have these powers if we weren't supposed to use them?
Yeah. Basically, if we can rebel, if we have the ability to rebel, and we have these powers that can overthrow the demiurge, like we might be because we are supposed to use them, right? I mean, we have them, and we understand something that doesn't seem to be understood. Everything points into the direction that God or I don't know whatever wants us to, right? It seems like a way to somewhere we can find purpose in, right? And I don't know. It also makes me think of Star and Eye people. I think it's kind of it's a very an extremely similar idea. I think it ties very, very well with this. I think
I
it ties
didn't think
very,
of
very
that.
well with this.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, and yet one more time we're seeing another amazing piece of art showing this, right? I mean, we have Ayn Rand, we have Andy the Moss Guardian, now we have Melanie Martinez. Well, we have what was the name? Well, we have Gnosticism. We have, or what you were explaining right now. We've been conscious about this for so long, right? And we have us um, empaths, us. What was the term that you just
Pneumatics.
pneumatics, right? Us star people, us Howard Rourke's have always noticed this, right? And I have always kind of resorted to different strategies to kind of try to make the soulless try to understand and try to see what the fuck is happening, right? And I guess
I feel like
art has been like the best attempt, right? And it has been like because it's where it stays, but I don't know.
I hadn't thought of the eye people, star people analysis of the album, but it makes perfect sense. Remember, there was this one girl, the one with the eating disorder, the orange juice girl,
Hmm. Yeah,
and all of her like friend group, which was built around Kelly, they all wanted to dress the same and look the same and like be perfect in the same
yeah,
way. And then they figured out like, oh no, she's a star person. She's an empath. She has
yeah.
powers, and
Uh-huh.
we have to break her out of her like eye person
Yeah,
confinement.
yeah.
I was I hadn't thought of that, but it makes perfect sense. I feel like I have to clarify for just one thing for the audience. I'm not a Gnostic. I do not endorse Gnosticism. I do not believe in Gnosticism. Uh,
Yeah.
I yeah, whether it be social Gnosticism or classical Gnosticism, I just not my thing. But we
Hmm.
are using it as a tool to explore this album because it fits really well.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's not Gnosticism in general as a whole ideal is not doesn't seem to be great, but there is an there is this one thing that it shares, right, with other philosophies and other ideas that kind of does make a lot of sense. Um, Lilith. I wanted to ask
Lilith.
you this. I kind of understand who Lilith is, but I think you can explain it a lot better. Like how does Lilith, how does the mythological Lilith connect to the Lilith in this story?
Okay. So in Gnosticism, uh, the soteriology, it's called, of Gnosticism, the way you achieve salvation
Mhm.
is through gnosis, through like not knowledge generally, but
No,
the knowledge,
the
the
knowledge.
special
Yeah,
knowledge.
this. Yeah.
And there are forces in the world that try to bring you that knowledge. So the Gnostics perceive, for example, the snake in the Garden of Eden as the bringer of gnosis.
Okay.
The because the snake breaks Adam and Eve out of their view that
Obedience. Yeah.
everything's fine in the world of the demiurge. They're like, oh my God, no, everything
Mhm.
is not fine. What the fuck?
Okay.
And
Okay.
they can rebel. They think of Jesus as a bringer of gnosis. Like, forget this world. The world of my father is a world beyond this one, and it's greater than
Mhm.
this one, and that's the one you should really aim for. And if you look at the Gnostic Gospels, Jesus is talking a lot about the secret knowledge that's gonna
Yeah.
take you to heaven. So Lilith, how does Lilith factor into this? Well, the easiest way to bring it together is some interpretations, especially medieval interpretations, thought that the snake in the Garden of Eden was Lilith's, Adam's first wife, defective wife. And that ties into the other thing, the more socio-Gnostic thing, where Lilith is kind of an icon of feminism as a
Okay.
rebel against a patriarchal order. God told Lilith, you have to listen to your husband. And Lilith was like, no. So she was exiled from the Garden of Eden. And some interpretations then turn that into, okay, Lilith, after being exiled or leaving the Garden of Eden, turned herself into a snake to awaken Eve as well as Adam and
Mhm.
rebel against the Gnostic demiurge, the evil god of
Okay.
the Garden of
Okay.
Eden.
Okay.
So those are sort of the connections I tied in to what Lilith's role is in the movie. The movie, it's almost this godlike figure that
Mhm.
acts as an emissary, as an angel of the pleroma, of the spiritual world beyond, and guides the characters and gives them wisdom, and is a bit harsh on them sometimes.
Yeah. 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 And it's interesting because at the end, it seems like they do gain this gnosis and they do get to escape, and they escape through the same door through which Lilith comes in before in the story, right? And like the last scene where Crybaby, the Crybaby's friends, like trying to make her hurry up and get in, and she just doubts it, right? And we don't know if she actually escapes or if she stays in this world, in this
The
weird ass
Canoma.
world. The Canoma, yeah, yeah.
It's like Canoma or Pleroma? That is the question.
Which is it's interesting if you think about what Lilith says. I think the first time she appears, uh she tells them that they are immortal, right? Like they are immortal, and that they have to go through this experience because the only way you can learn and you can gain knowledge is through experience and going through the pain and going through this thing that seems pretty harsh, right? And seems like something you just got thrown into and there's nothing you can do about it but just live through it, right?
Okay, so
And
we opened two can of worms there already, but keep going.
oh, I might even open a third one, I think. Is um she also tells them that, I mean, they say like, no, we don't want to die here, you know, like they're worried of dying in this place, right? That everything they knew in their life is this K through 12, the weird ass thing. And Lilith says to them, tells them that they will keep going through different lives, right? So the escape, what does the escape from this Kanoma really mean, right? Tying to what Lilith said before, are they really escaping the Kanoma, or are they escaping one Kanoma to enter another one, right? Which is, I don't know. I think that's a point of the end, right? That it kind of leaves that question very open, but it's very good. I think it's very good.
I mean, we do know what happens to Crybaby after K through 12. We do know.
Oh, really?
And it's
I
really
don't know.
weird.
I don't know.
And it kind of
That's fucking amazing, you know, because I don't know, and this is like the first thing I have watched.
it's fun. It's trippy as shit, but it's fun. Uh but two things.
Okay.
First, also in the inspiration for a lot of Gnostic ideas, which was Plato and
Mm-hmm.
Pythagoras, you have this idea of metempsychosis, of constantly being reborn in new worlds and constantly having to find your way back to the good world, the world of forms, the pleroma.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's that's one thing. But I think Melanie's getting to something deeper than that. And I think it ties into your previous question.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we have these powers if we weren't supposed to use them? The
Okay.
idea is to stage a whole scale rebellion against the demiurge. So that's why they're constantly being reborn, to constantly keep waging and expanding the fight against the demiurge and finding others like the ones they found to
Mm-hmm.
bring them to the pleroma and say add them to the army that's fighting against the demiurge.
The
And
demiurge.
that's more of an existentialist idea than a purely Gnostic idea.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about.
And then speaking of existentialism, but also Gnosticism, there's this idea of thrownness, which thank you very much for reminding me. Heidegger, the Nazi existentialist, came up with this idea of thrownness, that we are born into the world and we don't know what the hell is going on. We don't know who we are. We don't know
Hmm.
how the world works. And that's a very, well, it's an existentialist idea, but that's a very Gnostic idea. It's you are this spark of divinity from the pleroma, and
Yeah.
now you're forced to live as an embodied creature in the kenoma with the rules of the demiurge that
Hmm.
are twisted and blind and wrong. So how the fuck are you supposed to navigate that? And the existentialist answer to that is through authenticity. And if authenticity means what we keep coming back to, rebellion against the world, the whole world, and its structures and its demiurge, then
Hmm.
that's how you can best manifest, let's call it that spark of divinity inside of you, that
Okay.
that
Hmm.
spark of being.
Okay. 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 That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And I think it also helps to mention this roundness that I find to the whole story, and that kind of goes from one idea to the next to the next, regarding the ideas that we just discussed, the thrownness. I feel like the whole beginning of the film is kind of, it feels like that. Like you got all these characters that are being thrown into the plot, and you have no idea where they come from. You have no idea what the fuck is happening. Why are they acting like little children, but they're fucking full grown as adults, and they have powers,
Technically,
and it's like
they are
it feels.
kids. They're just being played by the adults.
I mean, yeah, yeah, but you, as someone who has no context, or at least I, as someone who had no context and went straight into watching this, that's what I felt like. Like what is going on? And everyone seemed to be like in it. They didn't seem to know each other necessarily. They all seemed like they were all like thrown in there, but everybody knows kind of what they're going to do and where they are going and what's the procedure and what's the role they're taking, and like if they were programmed, like they were thrown into it and programmed by something that you don't know about. And
Like
then
they were mindlessly following a script in a drama
yeah,
club.
kind of thing, kind of
I
thing.
never signed up for your drama,
Yeah,
for your drama. It's a
basically,
song.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you start getting this idea of the demiurge and this rebellion thing, and you start understanding like, oh, everything, like the roles of the characters are starting to make sense in this story. Like they already had their implicit sense since the beginning, but they kind of just start having an actual purpose, and when the demiurge is overthrown, you kind of start going back into this confusion. When it's about the demiurge and fighting the demiurge, like everything is clear. It's about rebelling. This place is bad. This place is fucked. This place is they're controlling us. We have to get rid of the authority, right? And they actually get rid of the authority. It starts becoming very confusing again. Because it's like, I mean, they're still trapped in the school, right? And they still have to escape, right? The demiurge is not there anymore, but they still have to escape this Canoma, right? And where are they going to escape to, right? Are they going to go back home? Are they going to? And it starts becoming like, and at the end, when it makes sense again that they're just jumping probably into another Canoma, it's yeah, it's like purpose kind of sandwiched by two existentialistic, very like infinite ideas. I don't know, but it gives this story such a good like roundness, such a good. I think it's very good artistry for the story to be written like that. I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I like it. I can just say I like it. I can just say I enjoy that.
No, I like it too. And this is all like the skeleton of the structure. But like you said earlier, this movie and this album deals with so many different aspects of life. It deals with
Hmm.
relationships. It deals with eating disorders. It eats with it eats. It deals with so many, so many different things, and I think it does so from a very genuine place. It's coming at those issues, like we said, in a straightforward way, but also in a way that comes from the heart.
Oh, totally, totally. Like that is very, very clear, and it becomes even clearer when you start kind of understanding who Melanie Martinez is. Because I understand that nowadays she uses a mask. Like she doesn't show her face anymore, and at least in concerts, and she
Okay,
has
but
started
there's
to.
okay. So now we can get into what happens to Crybaby after. She
Oh
dies
yeah,
and gets
she dies,
reborn.
and she dies like in the K-12 story. Like she doesn't escape; she just stays there and she dies.
Yeah,
Or
like
does she just?
immediately after, like right when they cut, then we don't know
Oh
how
damn!
she dies. There's different fan theories
Damn.
about it, but
Okay,
she gets
okay.
reborn. Like Lilith told her she would be. She gets reborn,
Hmm.
and she gets reborn as this weird creature that you're talking about with the mask,
Yeah.
the double eyes and the
Hmm.
wings and the all of that. And they just call that the creature, and that ties into the new later album, which is Portals, and it's
Okay.
all about fairies and different sorts of wonderful pagan things. And now, very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, she's been she released a new album where she does show her face. It's a new character called
Okay.
Circle. I think it's called Circle. And yeah, the album is called Hades. And yeah, like I'm
All right.
excited to see what
All
else
right.
comes from
Okay.
her
Okay.
career.
Okay. We're gonna have to 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 listen to that too. To I mean that she does a lot of visual stuff, right? I mean this film, and yeah, I guess she will put out like another kind of film or something for the
Hopefully.
project. Hopefully, yeah, yeah. No, but I after watching this and after talking about it, I like her more than what I did before. I think I'm gonna listen to more of her stuff. It's interesting,
Hell yeah.
interesting stuff. Yeah.
Pastels and glitter with a bit of blood.
A bit of blood and very clear images of fuck knows what.
Oh yeah,
And
that
yeah,
was our analysis of Melanie Martinez's K through 12. We hope you enjoyed, and like and subscribe. Bye.
bye bye.